right. Well, thanks for coming on today, visiting the green room.
Thank you for having me in this beautiful green room.
So you're doing your annual Christmas show soon.
Yeah, coming up this Sunday, the 21st, at Fine Things at the Nico. It's my 13th installment of my holiday test drive series, which was all started as an experiment, which is why I named it Holiday Test Drive, because I was dipping my toes into the world of cabaret, as I had been wanting to do, and I've been, pushed to by our mutual friend Carly for many years, and finally did it. And so I thought, a little tongue-in-cheek, funny kind of name, Holiday Test Drive. That's, they're selling all those cars this time of year with that title. And then it just kind of stuck.
Yeah. And you're still calling it Holiday Test Drive after 13 years.
After third, well, the car company still call it the Holiday Test Drive. So I have new things to roll out, new stories to share, some familiar stories that I share and my thoughts on the holidays. And really, it's just about getting myself, but getting all of us into the holiday spirit, just all the holiday season, whether you celebrate something religiously, you celebrate it secularly, or you just like experiencing this time of year. I try to have a little something for everyone and to have it like respectful and just really uplifting.
So you'll be telling all of your wonderful stories as well as singing with your beautiful voice for us on the 21st.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's at
Uh,
5 p.m., so it's not too late, not too early. It's a perfect Sunday matinee, which is something that I stumbled into a few years ago because I used to do Mondays and Tuesday nights, and it was
mhm.
nighttime. And then one year, the only availability was a Sunday afternoon. And I thought, I mean, if it's the only thing available, I have to do it, right? And I was just
Yeah.
like, so I'll lose money this year. That's fine, but I'll be consistent. Turned out to be the most sold one. And it's like, oh, I
Oh.
guess my audience likes these somewhere between matinee and evening shows. And, especially for people coming up from the peninsula or the East Bay or the North Bay, it gets them into the city at a good time and gets them back home at a good time. Um,
Yeah.
and it allows them to, finish their last minute holiday errands.
It's
And
perfect. Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
It's perfect timing, I think, during the holidays to have it at 5 o'clock on a Sunday, because also people want to avoid the traffic if they're driving from other parts of the Bay Area, and often at nighttime, that's not going to be the case. It's going to be quite awful.
Exactly.
Yeah. So are you based in New York or LA now, or where are you out of?
I am now full-time in LA. I moved here about a little over 2 years ago now.
Hmm.
So I just celebrated my second year in July.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been an adjustment, but a really nice change of pace. And it's nice to be back in California, not too far from my family up in the Bay Area. And yeah, it's just been a wonderful change of life. I love, love, love New York. I did New York. New York was good to me. New York taught me a lot, and now I have to see what LA has to teach me.
Well, you've done some TV and film as well, right? Quite a bit, actually. So are
Yeah,
you looking to do that down there?
oh yeah, but
Yeah.
when I moved here, definitely still looking to do that. The industry
Hmm.
has changed quite a bit, as I'm sure
Hmm.
you're aware.
Hmm.
When I arrived, it was literally at the beginning of the strike in Hollywood, both the writer and the SAG after strike.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought, well, that doesn't really matter. I mean, not that it doesn't matter. The strike was important. But I thought, you know what, this might actually be the best time to come so I can settle in, get everything in order. And
Yeah.
then the business hasn't really, the industry has changed and has shifted. And that's okay because I'm still finding ways to make myself creative and to create things. And, because I'm grateful for my agents getting me the auditions they've gotten me.
Hmm.
But this free time has allowed me to pursue other creative endeavors. I recently started a podcast myself.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
What's it
called
called?
Tough Shift. And it's about people in the hospitality, like unpacking, that the actor waiter stereotype, like, oh, you wait tables? What are you auditioning for? What are everyone's, and it's kind of a condescending thing about like the actor waiting tables until they get their big break and all the condescension around that, but really unpacking the fact that like, yeah, it's a stereotype for a reason, and it's beneficial to the restaurants, it's beneficial to the artists, and it's all artists, not just actors.
Yeah.
And really, some of the most talented human beings I've ever worked with have been in restaurants. So talented, and most people don't even know who they are. They don't know that they've toured this beautiful nation on Broadway tours. They've been on Broadway, they've done regional theater, they've been on TV, and you got to pay bills in between gigs, because it is a gig lifestyle, and that is just exactly what the lifestyle is. And so people who are doing what it takes to make the dream happen. And in a lot of ways, it comes through in that stereotype of working in a restaurant. So we talk shop about restaurants, the ups and downs and all that, and then kind of unpack the whole, what are you doing this for? Who is the artist? And what should people know about you and how should they support you? So it's a really cool conversation, and it's been a wonderful way to connect and reconnect with people that I've worked with friends that I adore. And then I've also managed to kind of build my community out of that. I've had people reach out to me to be like, hey, I have something coming up and I worked in restaurants. Can I come talk on your show and promote what I've got going on? And it's like, by all means, that's exactly the whole purpose, is to create this community for us to come together and uplift other artists making it happen. As you you very well know with what
Uh,
you're doing here on your show.
I sure do. And please forgive me, but I actually did listen to a couple episodes of your podcast
Oh,
already.
thank
I
you.
had just forgotten. It was about a
Go
year
for it.
ago, I think, when you first started. I'm going to go back and
Yeah.
listen. There's so many podcasts out there, I can't keep up.
There are so many podcasts.
Millions, literally.
If you can't beat them, join them, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
like the lotto, someone's got to win. So it's like, yes, a lot of people have podcasts. Why not tell your thing? You might be reaching some people, and even if it's a small number,
Yeah.
or a humble number, as I like to call it, it's still making an impact. And when you think of that, like in like theater terms, like community theater makes just, and this is, please listen and hear to anyone who's hearing this, community theater is just as important as Broadway, because there would be no Broadway if there weren't all these people on a community theater level keeping the love and joy of theater alive. So whoever you reach and however you reach them contributes to the bigger picture at large.
I absolutely agree. And in addition to that, um, you're not necessarily going to see a lower quality show if you go see community theater. I mean,
No,
a
it's
lot
not.
of the people on Broadway, God bless them, but a lot of it's because they've known the right people and they somehow were at the right place at the right time. But you can go to a community theater show or a regional theater show and see an unbelievably moving or funny or anything that you can get on Broadway, oftentimes. So
Exactly.
please support your local theater makers.
Because
Inclu
that's how they get to Broadway. They have to start somewhere. Audra McDonald
exactly.
was doing small community theater in Fresno, California. And from Fresno, and if you know Fresno, to Broadway, like
Yeah,
that's how it happens. That's the impact of theater programs. And even if you don't pursue theater as a career, what theater does for, inspiring imaginations and so many people that you would never think are huge theater fans, like it is such a huge impact on our communities and our minds and our hearts. So yeah, 100%. And that's
yeah,
kind of a similar thing with the people that I work with in restaurants. Like they have just as much, if not more talent. They've just not had that one opportunity yet.
yeah,
Or the opportunity, they're living the life that they want.
yeah,
I did a show with somebody, and his whole goal, he's like, I don't want to be a Broadway star. He said, I want to be a Broadway chorus boy, because
yeah,
he did that strategically, because he's like, I don't want the pressure of having to lead the show, but I want the job security of knowing that me being a triple threat will give me the best opportunity I need for job security. And I was like, wow, that is show business. Like, good for you
yeah,
for thinking it out that far. Like, there's a million ways to live life, more than a million ways. And it's just a matter of, are you happy with the way you're living yours?
right, right. I mean, I think you and I probably know some of the same people who did make it to Broadway who were here in San Francisco. Um, and I also know other people who could have easily, and just like you say, they just didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Um, and but they still have a lot to offer, as you do on the 21st, which I can't wait to see. I love your show. Last time I went, what was it, last year or the year before? It was so
Uh,
wonderful.
you
Last
were at my Sondheim show.
The Sondheim show. Yes.
Yes. And
Yes.
so I'm basically kind of merging the two. So that Sondheim show that I originally did in Provincetown and then brought to San Francisco a year later, um, that kind of inspired me. I did that show, as you know, but just so your listeners, and what I call my soft drag, like, I just put on a
Yeah.
little beat, a little face, but I don't shave the mustache. I don't shave the legs because the legs look good as they are, and the fishnets hide a lot of sins. And it was just this having fun in dressing myself, however the mood strikes me, and specifically for this show, I'm bringing that back and kind of donning my quite literal gay apparel, wearing full-on sequins, sequin fishnets, red pumps. I look like, you've seen Sister Act 2
Yeah.
in the beginning
Yes.
where she's doing that montage in
Yeah.
Vegas or Reno, wherever she is, and she's in that sequin nun outfit.
Yeah.
I look like I got my outfit for this show from the Dolores Van Cartier line at Walmart. It's a short sequin dress, looks like a little nun. I feel like Whoopi Goldberg. I have my red pumps. I am just loving life and just expressing just authentic joy. There are so many sides to me, and dressing up in sequins and heels is part of my joy. And so why not bring that to this? We decorate our Christmas trees, we light them up. Why not decorate ourselves and light ourselves up?
Absolutely. I love the fact that you dress up like that. It's so refreshing, and you have so much confidence in it that it actually adds to the whole night because what you see, I can't explain it. It's like you still keep your mustache, but you're
Yeah.
dressed as you feel, and it's so authentic.
100%. And I almost
Yeah,
feel a little more confident myself that way than I know I present.
yeah,
I should, not I should, but a lot of people assume, wow, you look so good in a suit. You wear a suit so well. Well, and that's
yeah,
the aesthetic I give. I give that Crooney. I give the Mario Lanza. I
right.
give the Bing Crosby. And I can do that. And I've done that for many years. But I also have this. So I've been telling people I'm going to try and find a way to work this into the show. But basically my aesthetic and what I'm bringing to you this year is I look like the love child of Mario Lanza and Toady Field. You don't
Toady
know who,
Field.
if you
I
don't know
don't
who
know if a lot of
Mario,
people are gonna know that who Toady Field was.
Google is free and she's phenomenal. She's a broad. She's a real broad and she wore
Yeah.
sequins and she showed her legs and she had sass and I'm like, wait a second.
I loved watching Toady Field on TV when I was a kid. When she was always like on Merv Griffin or the Mike Douglas show or something
And
like
she
that.
could sing. She
Oh
was
yeah.
hilarious and she could belt it out.
Yeah.
So paying a little homage to her this year and how I present. Because, it's I talk about very sincere things about the holiday, but there's also some irreverence because it
Yeah.
is fun. There are silly and, crazy things that happen within our family stories and all that. That's just kind of important to remember that the holiday is can be sacred, can be meaningful, but also can be funny and sometimes embarrassing. And those are the
Yeah.
stories that kind of contribute. So I have a story that I share every year. I didn't used to share it every year, but I would bring it back every couple years until I realized that this is a story much in the same of The Night Before Christmas, much in the same of Charlie Brown Christmas, all the things that we go back and watch every year, Wonderful Life. And it's a small story about my family and the last time we cut down our own Christmas tree. It's an interesting story. It might you might blush when you hear it, but it's a story that is embarrassing to me, to my brother, is shocking, and it's something that the audience loves to hear every year, and I enjoy telling it. And my brother will always correct me. He'll say, "That's not how it happened." I'm like, "Well, that is how it happened." And isn't that exactly what the Christmas is? Like we tell family stories
Yeah.
and somebody's always going to remember it from their point of view, and there's the debate. And so it's just kind of like extending my family memories to the family that I've built with this show over the years, because this show really did start off as a one-off, just a one-time thing, and it built momentum, and the audience made it a tradition. And as soon as the show was over, it was like, we can't wait for next year.
Have you
And
always done it at
oh,
Hotel Nico?
no, it
No.
started at Martuni's, and I just want to make sure
Oh,
everyone knows it's not at Martuni's this year.
yeah.
But I did it at Martuni's uh, up until last year when I moved over to Feinstein's at the Nico, and I could not have done the show had it not been for the home that I found in Martuni's, for Skip and everyone at Martuni's,
Hmm.
for welcoming me home every year, for giving me priority booking, for managing my crazy family as they come in. And really giving me what I needed to get my feet wet in this cabaret world, which led me to then kind of take on New York City. So from, Valencia Street to 42nd Street, and then, and not to brag, actually I will. I like this quote I've been thinking about a lot. To quote Rita Moreno, if it sounds like I'm bragging, you're right. Like, this is what led me to then win two Mac Awards and three Broadway World Awards. And I'm learning to brag. A lot of people think actors love talking about this stuff. We hate talking about this
Yeah.
stuff. But going back to what I said
Do
earlier
it.
about show business,
Yeah.
this is what sells tickets. And
Yep.
even though it's like a small award in the grand scheme of things, it's something that I've been recognized. There's a value to what I bring, and that people find in it. They associate value to it, and they've made it a tradition. And it's what welcomes me home every year to be with my family for the holidays. And if I do nothing all year, if I don't get a single callback, if I don't get a single audition, I know I have this show. I have this opportunity to create, and I get to be with my family in all senses of the word.
Yeah. And those awards are a big deal in the world of cabaret, so let's
Oh,
not
thank you
say
very
they're
much.
small. Yeah. I have to admit that I think three times in shows that I've got to dress in drag, I think it's some of the most fun times I've had on stage.
Right?
I don't know what it is. As a man, it's liberating in some way. Do you
Because
feel
we're
it?
we're so confined, and it's
Yeah.
like the same thing when ways that we express ourselves, even just not with drag, but like in stepping on stage in any character,
Yeah.
that the freedom of people can't judge me, they're going to judge this character, and so I can take a little more risk, and then it
Yeah.
turns, you know what, they love this character, and then
Yeah.
it's like when I'm putting on this drag, and even drag queens, the person who embodies the drag is not the same person that the drag queen is.
Something happens to you though too. Like when you put on the dress. I mean, there's something that gets touched inside of you as a man that you don't normally get to access. Do you know what I
Ex-
mean?
Exactly, because we're so limited
Yeah.
by our society telling us, there's women's clothes, there's men's clothes, this is the expectation of a man, this is the expectation of a woman. And, if a woman wears jeans and all this stuff or in a t-shirt, like nothing of it. Like women wear
Right.
jeans and t-shirts, right? It's not
Hmm.
1902. They don't have to wear dresses, right? They
Yeah.
wear what you want. But if a man wears a dress, it's just like shocking. And it's like, huh. I mean, historically, robes are robes and
Yeah.
garments are garments. And you
Yeah.
look at back, in France, like in King Louis, and it's like, that's drag right there. That's drag. And heels were invented for men. Heels weren't
Yeah.
invented for women. Heels were
Right.
invented for men.
Yeah.
And it's just like this thing where we're so limited, and it's like, why not get to explore? And
Hmm.
even in modern places around the world, in modern history, in current day history, where men wear robes and that's the garb they wear. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's whether it's a dress or not, it shouldn't matter. It's clothing. And in the
Yeah.
same way that there's no right or wrong way to decorate your Christmas tree, it's just decorate it in the way that brings you the most joy. There's no way that's right or wrong in how you decorate and present yourself. It's the light and joy, which is kind of the theme of this show. It's this year's theme. There's a holiday test drive, and then there's always like a sub theme, or a subtitle. And this year's is sparkle and joy.
Hmm.
The times we're living in, we need joy, we need to sparkle, we need to live out loud, we need to create light. And so that's kind of what we're doing here. And that's what I'm doing is just like, How can I be the gayest thing possible? Test me. I will try harder and harder. Yeah.
Well, we sure do need that. Boy, I don't know how we're going to get through these next 3 years. I don't want to get political, but I mean, we need to readjust I mean, I'm speaking for myself, our habits in terms of what we consume from the media, how we spend our time. I know that a lot of the terrible things that have been happening in the world have infiltrated my own creative time, and I don't like that. And coming this new year, I want to make a concerted effort to change that. Um,
100%. And I feel like
yeah.
what we have to do is like I always try and get across in my show that the joy that we feel this time of year, even in our hardest times, there's still some sort of level of joy that is around us. And even if we're not fully able to experience it, we notice it.
Hmm.
And if we are able to fully experience it, we can kind of not trap more of it, but hold on to more of it. And I always tell people like this is what gets me through the year. The magic and the joy of this time of year refuels me, recharges my battery, and allows me to to live the way that we talk about like in giving and being charitable and loving. Like how do we extend this throughout the year? The lessons we learn, the themes we talk about, the light and joy we create, how do we carry that throughout the year? Like it's
How
a
do
really
we? How do you? How do we? How do you?
we just continue to choose.
Yeah.
Right. And
Okay.
that's not being dismissive of our harsh realities or the struggles we face, but in accepting like this is what's happening, this is what I have control over, and I know these things bring me joy, albeit temporary, as long as it's healthy joy,
Hmm.
um, and actual joy, not masking things. And so, what can you do despite your circumstance? And this is easier said than done,
Hmm.
to choose joy, and it's in small things in holding a door open for somebody,
Yeah.
buying a cup of coffee for the person next to you, giving, people complain about like, why do I have to tip my barista? But like, if you have the dollar to give, give the damn dollar. If you don't
Yeah.
have the dollar, don't give it. But like, that might make a difference in someone's day. Saying hello, saying to somebody like, well, you're radiant today. You look radiant and moving on, not expecting a thank you or anything, just like acknowledging people, acknowledging yourself, the things you can do to brighten. Because again, in almost like in drag, where it's like you have this freedom. I'm going to spread joy to other people because I feel safer in complimenting someone than I do myself. I
Hmm.
feel safer in going out of my way for somebody else than I do myself, maybe sometimes. And it just creates this energy of then that sets in motion, maybe that inspires somebody else to
Yeah.
share some generosity in whatever way. And it's these Christmas ideas that just throughout the year, it's like, when you're setting your intentions and your resolutions for the year, it doesn't have to be weight loss. It doesn't have to be, it can be one small thing,
Yes.
either every day or once a month. What am I going to focus on? And if you fall off the wagon, you
Start
acknowledge it
over.
and you start over. And it's like,
Yeah.
I was supposed to volunteer. I haven't done that. I'm gonna do that now. Guess what? You're spreading your Christmas cheer throughout the year.
Exactly.
Being mindful.
It's never too late to start over any moment during on any day. I
Exactly.
think people forget that. It's like, oh, I haven't done this, I haven't done that. Oh, my life is. You can start over right now.
Exactly.
You can call a friend, you can call somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. You can go get a coffee and tip someone $5. I mean, it's for a cup of coffee. You know, it'll make you feel better too, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. I
Yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you enjoy the most? Do you enjoy doing cabaret the most out of all the different things that you've done in the entertainment world, or I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think I do, um, because it's my voice. It's
Hmm.
what I want to say. I put these shows together to share the message I want to share. And, in school and in rehearsals, we're told who we are, we're told what we need to be, we're accepting these characters, and building characters is wonderful, but we're trained to, aspire to be like so and so, to aspire to be like so and so, to get to do this character, to do somebody else's words, to do somebody else, and on set, like acting for camera is really just angles
Yeah.
and and different shots, and it's kind of like almost it's all in it's a lot of it is in editing. There's an art to it, and it is its own art, but I don't find it as fulfilling as a live audience. And with my cabaret shows, I get to be a little more me. I
Hmm.
get to share the creative voice I have as an artist, and not me bringing somebody else's words to life. Of course, I'm singing other people's songs, but
Yeah.
I've strung the night together
Right.
with a theme that I want to get across. And it allows me to connect a little more with my audience because there is no fourth wall.
Yeah.
It's it's us and we're interacting. And I script it within an inch of its life just so that way I can let go and have a conversation. Just so I know where what I want to say and how I want to say it. And should something come up that takes me down this path, I know how to get back to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And there's freedom in that for me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
No, I know what you mean because that way you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking and by the seat of your pants. I mean, you know what you're going to say, but if something comes up or an audience member says something that you need to react to, you still can always get back to
exactly.
where you were. Yeah. So your show is December 21st, 5 p.m., Hotel Nico, Feinstein's at Hotel Nico.
Yes, and you can get tickets by going to
Yes.
feinsteinsf.com. There are still some tickets available. I'm going to be
Okay.
joined by the wonderful Aaron Allen on piano, who will literally be coming back into town after being on tour with The Lion King. So
Wow.
I'm so honored to have her. She's one of San Francisco's best musical directors, and I'm just so glad that we finally got a chance to collaborate, and our collaboration has now become a thing, a multi-collaborate year where we just keep coming back to each other, and I hope to work with her on so many more things. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. And anybody who's listening, you will not be sorry if you go to Sean Patrick's show on December 21st. I've seen him in action myself, and he's fantastic.
And thank
Um,
and
you're
literally,
welcome.
if you've forgotten to plan stuff with your friends or your coworkers, or you want
Yeah.
to, I mean, not to be braggadocious again, but if you want to impress your friends with something different,
Yeah.
we love Christmas Carol, we love all the standard holiday stuff, we love going to Pier 39, but like, why not a cabaret show with a linebacker, a man who's built like a linebacker in fishnets and platform heels, like something a little more fabulous, right?
Yes. Very fabulous. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been great talking to you once again.
Likewise.
Okay. And I will see you on the 21st.
I'll see you on the 21st. Thank you, Ray.
Okay.